Hello, 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 and welcome to the Crazy Train!
Crazy!
With me is Omer Ibrahim.
Do you like my train? You cannot refrain, nothing runs with train. I am out of words. Next.
And Blake Harmer.
And I'm lying on the cold, hard train. Train. Crazy. Taylor Swift did that, right?
And I'm your host, Rob Wade. I don't have a catchphrase
You don't
yet.
have a song?
Huh?
You don't have a song?
No.
Oh.
No.
Do you want me? There's plenty
Take
of
it on
songs.
the train, crazy. That's the way you want it, baby. That mental person's on the train again.
Why is he sitting next to me? Maybe I shouldn't have patted the seat and smiled. I don't know how that song goes.
Runaway train, never going back.
No, it's crazy.
No, stop.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Solar Asylum are going to be on the phone because they need the money. So we got no Brad this week.
Well, he's
What did he say he was doing, Blake?
Oh yeah, this is his new week's project.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't that lucky the last couple of weeks, but he's remained fairly positive, you see. So this week he's actually going skydiving.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Right.
So tune
So
in.
he should be back next week, though, right?
Oh yeah, hopefully. So tune in next week when he's in traction.
Not because where the skydiving went bad, but his big Juno's hit the floor.
Yeah.
1 minute 31. Fucking hell.
I've gone racist already.
Yep.
Hello, I'm Omer Ibrahim, the most racist member of the team.
And seriously, like, listening back to the first two episodes as I mixed them, it became apparent to me two things were true. They kind of blend into each other as well. One, we come across as massive racists.
Yeah.
And two, we don't know how Dutch people speak. So it does...
Welcome to the Crazy Train with Omer. He doesn't like Jews.
Blake, he likes Jews alright. And Rob, he's never really thought about it.
What are your opinions on Jews?
I don't know.
I've never really thought about it.
Yeah, I have no kind of...
I mean, if you do have an opinion on different races, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, if you have an opinion on different races and it's margin negative, you're probably a racist.
Even if it's positive, I think even like it's like the old fat people are funny.
Okay.
Even though that's a positive stereotype, I think it's a stereotype. Like there's no such thing as a good stereotype.
Sure.
In reality, because then the one fat guy who's not very funny is going to feel shit.
Yeah.
So so I don't get I don't get stereotypes at all.
So a question for you, right?
Go for it.
You appear to have a plastic bag in front of you with the contents of basically a wedding buffet in it.
Yeah, it was my sister's birthday yesterday, so I brought a bag of Turkish.
Kakalash.
That's not a word. I brought a bag of party with me. We have some quiche.
Yep.
Some little samosa things, some pizza. I've got little cupcakes.
See, I'm really glad we're not scripted because when you said quiche and I'd have instantly gone Lorraine and you'd have gone, no, my sister's name is...
What is my sister's name?
I don't know.
So all this food is traditional Turkish stuff.
Yeah, pizza.
Quiche.
Quiche.
Named, of course, after the Turkish word for flat round cheese bread.
Thing.
But it's good. But there's a lot of it, so
yeah.
I'm probably eating it in about 3 weeks' time.
Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll check in with you next week and see if you're still eating it. Something tells me you will be.
So how's the mould, man?
Well, I invented penicillin, which was lucky because I got food poisoning.
Well, somebody's already done that, you don't need to.
Oh, okay, right now. I reinvented penicillin.
Yeah. That's the most marketing thing I've ever heard about penicillin. We're reinventing penicillin.
Now it makes you healthier.
Thinking you knew everything about penicillin? Think again, motherfucker!
Doesn't even have pencils in it.
You thought it killed diseases. Think again.
It fucks up diseases.
Extreme penicillin! It's penicillin laced with Mountain Dew and Doritos!
Don't get well, get fucking well.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
So we were talking before we started recording about sofas.
Yeah.
Right. There was context behind it.
Okay.
It's not just us saying.
No, not just. What do you think about those settees?
Yeah, and also I'm not kind of to that point where I'm just so old that it's so old in my mind that I'm choosing out sofas like, oh, that's a rather nice design.
Well, I spent 220 quid on bathroom tiles today, so I am.
Did you have a bathroom that needed tiling?
Yeah, well, yes.
Well, that's fair enough.
I didn't just tile.
Exactly.
I just like tiles.
Yeah, if that was
Here, you, sell me 3 barrels of grout.
Yeah, so if you just had, an interest in tiles, or my bathroom doesn't need tiling, but fuck it.
Yeah,
then that's...
Just stick them on top of the old tiles, to be honest. I want my bathroom to be a 1/4 inch smaller.
I want to gradually give myself the feeling over a couple of years that the walls are closing in on me in a specific room. It takes too long with paint, so we're doing tiles. You know how many coats of paint you have to do to make a bathroom feel smaller?
4.
I haven't tried it, but I imagine it's a lot.
A lot, yeah. Well done asking a question you have no answer for.
Well, it's called...
Question.
It's called questions, yeah. It's called rhetorical.
The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
Welcome to question time with the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, how many layers of paint does it take to make a room feel smaller?
I think it's a very excellent point, and he brings up a key point, and I'm not going to answer it. That's
more to the point, taxes.
That's Prime Minister's questions.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever I've watched it, it's always been... Oh, does the right honourable gentleman? They always call each other that because they don't want to say that smug cunt. But it's always if it's so say obviously it's, at the moment it's David Cameron.
Yeah.
Midway through his war on poor people, so he comes up to his bench thing, and the Conservative somebody behind him stands up and goes, "Would the right honourable gentleman not agree with me that it's fantastic that we're declaring war on the poor?" And he'll just say, "I think it's a very excellent point. I think it's absolutely right." And then the person across the way, which is, at the moment Labour, because apparently Lib Dem can't be an opposition party, will say, do the Prime Minister think it's bad, maybe, that the poor people have less money to rub together to start a fire? And he'll say, I think it's a very, it brings up an important point, but no.
So basically, the question time is just good point, good point, good point, good point.
No.
It's a little bit more bitchier than that, because they'll go like, oh, you're running this country into the ground. Well, it's an
Order! Sorry, I thought
that's fine.
It's a bit more authentic.
Let him answer the question.
We're not LARPing Prime Minister's questions right now. Let's just carry on. Let him speak.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I've completely lost my train.
Bitching.
I've lost my crazy train.
Oh, hey! Everybody drink.
Wait, that's what this is.
It's like Iron Brew I'm drinking.
Yeah, I've got cream soda.
No, I've got Pepsi Max. So I'm,
crazy.
We're so crazy, but at the same time keeping an active eye on.
But anyway, pulling it back a little.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, they'll come on. They'll talk. Right honourable speaker will go. Yeah, this is complete. I think you're running this country shite. And they go, yeah, that's an interesting point, but on the other hand, your face.
Yeah, no, pretty much.
On the other hand, I'm just doing what you did before.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just fixing the problem that you left before the person before. Even though I was before that, the person before that was not as good as the person before that. So we're fixing it. Taxes.
Taxes.
You have to give me more money.
Yeah. Politics. Buzzword of the day, politics. Piss off. Just live your life and forget they're even in that bloody room.
And then you get like Ed Miliband who just goes, cut taxes for millionaires, well, that's all he says.
More
I might vote for myself next time it's time to vote.
I'm tempted.
I'm just going to scribble an extra box, put Omer Ibrahim.
We'll run the E14.
Massively racist.
We'll run
party.
the E14 party.
The E14 party, brilliant.
We all live.
We change?
Well, we all live separately enough.
Yeah, we all
each
live in
other
different things. Yeah.
That we all fall under different constituencies, so we can probably get away with this. Okay, so
you say get away with it like it's illegal, because what we want probably is
the way I'm running it. The way I run a campaign.
More sex for Rob Wade. Denied.
Well, to be fair, anything would be an improvement at this point.
Objection.
Erection.
Would the right honourable speaker agree that he doesn't get it enough?
Well, what I always find amusing about Prime Minister's questions, because there's two different things. There's Prime Minister's questions, which happens during the day. It seems to be the only hour of work they do a fucking week.
Yeah.
And then there's question time, which is David Dimbleby with politicians who all have a little snipe at each other, and then the audience goes, "Oh, you don't know what it's like round here." It's like, well, no, I live somewhere else. But what always makes me laugh is when the speaker, the Prime Minister comes up and he goes, "Mr. Speaker, this morning I was in a meeting about this, and this afternoon I'll be in other meetings." I'm just like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, the Speaker's not your boyfriend. Or is he?
Order in my bedroom.
Let the right honourable gentleman finish in my ass. We're writing a better book than 50 Shades already.
Yeah, 50 Shades of what?
50 Shades of Politics. It would look like... I really want to publish it now, because it would look like the most boring fucking book in the world on the Waterstone shelf. You'd open it up, it'd just be gay porn. Mr. Speaker, this morning I was coming out of your mum, and this afternoon I'll be fucking your dad. That's good. I'll be in there all day.
It's a good point. You don't wink on a podcast, Blake.
Hence why I said wink.
Blake enters the stage right and winks. So anyway, sofas.
Yeah.
So I was crazy train. No one knows where it's gonna go, but it's probably gonna be about stuff. So I was walking down the road the other day. This is when the snow hit, and I think it was the day after the snow came down really badly. Like walking to work in the morning was fucking horrendous on the day the snow hit.
Yeah, trying to drive out was.
Yeah, just because. Well, apparently my road up the one up the road from me was even worse, and like a death trap. My dad did crab skids and just did set the world record for drifting in a Vauxhall Zafira.
Not much of a record.
It's about 8 feet. Yeah. But I was walking down the road the day after the snow hit, and like I said, the day the snow hit was horrendous because I was walking down the road with just a very light snow just hitting in my face, and it's not blizzardy, it's not an Arctic winter, and not Skyrim.
You don't need a beard.
It's not Skyrim like most people on my Facebook seem to think it was.
Yeah.
Which is it's lovely that they get out enough to recognise
to recognise as something they did when they were indoors.
Yeah, it's also nice that they get out enough to recognise that the real world is not just a DLC for Skyrim.
What?
Yeah, sorry, I just blew your mind, didn't I?
Yeah.
And
Sorry, Omer, you really don't actually have 50% frost resistance.
And you also don't have 100 smithing. Like, you might actually.
I actually do probably have 100 smithing.
This is true.
I made 1,000 iron daggers last week just to level up.
Why would you do that?
Well, now I have 1,000 iron daggers. Don't fuck with me. Stop questioning me. I have 1,000 daggers.
Point taken. In the guts. 1,000 times. And I was walking down the next day, and somebody had set up sofa sex.
What?
So you know how when you get somebody who's waiting for either waiting for the council to take some bit of disused furniture, or they're waiting for somebody to just think, oh, that'll look nice in my house and it's free, so they just take it with them.
Also, I like the smell of cat piss. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. But somebody had set up a cream leather sofa. Erotic. It's got cream in it. Like a mum.
Order.
Gay innuendo, please. So somebody had set up a cream leather sofa on the facing normal way a sofa does, sat, points down or whatever, casters down.
Earth sofa.
Yeah, casters down.
Yeah, okay.
And then they'd flipped another one into like a 69 position. And my first reflex to go, I shouldn't be watching this. And just walk past, kind of trying not to make eye contact with that sort of hand over my face.
Well, they're doing pretty good so far.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Omer. You're here all night.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah, no, I've got to go for some roast pork later.
Is that a euphemism?
No, I'm going to go and watch 2 sofas fucking.
Welcome to DFS, where all our furniture bangs. 50% off sale in your ass.
Yeah. Come to our sofas. They're cheap and nasty.
The things they'll do in your living room.
And the things you'll do on them.
Bow wow.
That's true, actually. Have you ever banged on a sofa?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Same. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. I mean, I barely fit on a sofa myself.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't wank.
Punch the beef on the sofa. Yeah. No, just because logistically you wouldn't think I'd be able to, but I have.
No, you're quite lanky.
Yeah, well, this is it. Like, you'd think that she would have to there'd be a very specific angle.
You need a separate sofa for her.
Yeah. But, it has happened.
Good. That's wondrous. We're not going to ask Blake because we're in his house.
Yeah, and I'm sat on his sofa right now. I don't want to know, quite frankly.
It's not white.
This is true, it's not.
Order!
And there's a throw on it, which makes me wonder.
Yeah, she's under you right now.
I can't be bothered to wash it.
Oh, fair enough.
Or the sofa.
Fucking hell.
That's why there's a stain.
Yeah, sure.
How many minutes is that?
15. 15 and we're talking about sofa banging. It's good. I feel like it's a good episode of The Crazy Train.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not an episode of The Crazy Train unless we have no idea how it came to this point. But yeah, my road is a point of kind of contention for me at the moment, because the other day I had a row with somebody on my road. Well, not on my road, but kind of... Have you... I don't think you've seen where I live.
No, I've never been around.
So, where I live is Borstal, for anybody who knows it well enough. So there's you go up the Street Esplanade and you come out on Shorts Way and you turn right on Shorts Way and you've got my road. If you turn left on Shorts Way, you go back towards the motorway.
Okay.
Now, when I get back late from movie night or seeing friends of any kind of social thing, I will park on my road if I can, and if I can't, then I will drive up to the next road. It's a bit, because there's usually gaps everywhere. There's no parking restrictions. There's no controlled parking. There's no double yellows apart from a small part. You're pretty much set as long as you don't.
You can.
Yeah, as long as you don't sit on a drop curb.
Yeah.
So at the end of last month, I remember why this. Yeah, there's a reason I remember the days, because I went up to change my tax disc, and while I was doing it, a guy came up to me from the side, and he said, "Is this your car?" Which is a weird question. Which is a weird question. No, I'm a guy who comes along and changes people's tax discs for correct ones. I just buy loads of people tax discs as a gift. I'm Robin Hood of car tax. I'm the DVLA's Robin Hood. What do you want, dickweed? So what?
Well, you didn't actually say that, though.
No.
Okay.
No, I just said yes. Yes, it is.
That's the appropriate answer.
Yeah, which I think is fair enough. And I don't know this guy, so there's no reason for me to be confrontational yet. And the reason I say yes is because he then turns around and says, "Are you always going to park your car here? Because it's not you're treating it like a car park." And I almost said, "It's a road."
Yeah,
in a way,
I pay car tax. I'm allowed to be here.
Yeah, but
I've used that genuine line on.
That's what I said. I said, "Look, it's not a controlled parking zone. There's no double yellows. I'm not on your drop because he has a drop curb, but I'm not on it. I'm nowhere near it. In fact, if anything, I've made a point when I park there of being considerate to give him a bit of extra room, so park an extra foot or two
so he can
in the other direction so he can swing off. Yeah. And he just starts whinging at me that, he can't reverse his car out in the morning, which is borderline illegal anyway from a drive.
Supposed to reverse into instead of out of.
Yeah, exactly. You're supposed to just drive it like a grown-up.
Crazy train, all law, all the time.
Resident Health and Safety Officer,
I did actually have a similar thing myself once where I didn't park. Yeah, it wasn't on curb, but he got bitchy at me because he said he couldn't turn out, and I'm like, well, I'm not actually on the drop curb. Okay, I'm not giving you the maybe a little bit of give. It was a narrow road and that.
Sure,
but still. You could. I think his main problem is that he wanted to turn right. He could have turned left or whatever. And gone a different way.
The block by 10 foot.
Yeah.
Or just learn to fucking drive.
Well, seriously, this is my problem with it. It's like, when did people become such fucking arseholes about this stuff?
Yeah.
This guy was just.
But this guy said, "You have made me late for work." And I was like,
"No, you standing here arguing with me, made me."
No, he's like, "I was meant to leave an hour ago." And I was like, "Well, I'm sorry, but couldn't you have just turned left?"
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're that late. No, you just wanted to make an argument.
It'd be really fucking amazing as if he'd never thought to do that until you said that. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Left, you say? Yeah. Left!
Oh, so there's two directions out of here.
If I actually parked on his drop curb, then fair enough. Incredibly.
I would have rammed the car off of the driveway. Yeah. So, I would have expected that. But
yeah, I would have deserved
everything you got for it. But yeah, if you're just...
But if I parked next to his drop curb and he had trouble turning out of it...
Yeah.
I assume he had a fucking bus. That's the only thing I can do.
Yeah, well, this is the other thing.
I can't get my steamroller out of here.
This guy's driving like just a sort of Citroen Zara or something. It's not exactly a big car. Yeah. And he's still kind of fucking complaining about it. And I just, I tried my best to reason with him. And I was completely taken aback, and I couldn't do any more, because what I should have done is gone into full-on dick-ass mode and just been like, "Look, prick. This is a perfect."
Listen, you.
Listen.
Shut your face.
Yes. Shut up your face.
Order. Would the right honourable gentleman please move his automobile?
That's a very good point. I'm not going to talk about it.
That's a very good point, but no. And that's the thing. I tried my best to reason with him very early on. So I said, "Look, I'm parking here because there's no gaps on my road, and I've checked there, and that's how I know. Because, like I said, I always try. And if I can't park there, I come up here, and I'm well within my rights to do that." And he just kept on relentlessly. He called me selfish,
right? Of course,
because apparently
he's the one who paid for a drop curb so nobody else can park in front of it. That's selfish.
Well, no, but at the same time, he's the one who paid for a drop curb. He didn't pay for the rest of the fucking road. No, he's not playing the world's slowest game of most boring game of fucking Monopoly. I've gone right down into the depths of the road because I'm that much of a cunt. Yeah. Anyway, the story has a happy ending.
Good.
The day after,
you had a wank.
No. Well, yeah, but
turns out I went to a massage parlour. Turned out he worked there, and he gave me a happy ending.
So now we're
So I parked on his fucking drive.
That's a euphemism. No, the story has a happy ending because the day after, my dad had to borrow my car, and so he drove it away, and he found a gap right outside my house because he can park it during the day.
Yeah.
And somebody else in an estate car has parked in that space and literally parked with about an inch of the drop curb left.
Nice.
So he's gone from, somebody who's actually kind of vaguely considerate to somebody who just doesn't give a fuck and drives a big 4x4.
Nice.
So fuck that guy. And if he's listening, I hope you fucking die in a fire, you cunt.
Yeah, I'll punch you right in the balls.
Seriously.
Give you a fucking German suplex through a window.
I will order you things you didn't order from a catalogue.
I will send you penis pump enlarger catalogues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll order you. I'll order you 10 a lady trial packs.
I'll put novelty condoms through your door every day for a week.
Tiny ones.
Tiny ones. With a receipt. With
you
your
should
name.
Actually, just on his driveway, just concrete in a reserved for small penis parking sign. I saw that on a joke the other day. It was brilliant. It was one of those brilliant YouTube prank videos.
Yeah.
But the guy, he's got like some sort of Porsche or something like that.
Right.
And he will park it purposely away from like the shopping centre,
Sure.
so that he doesn't get it dinged or anything.
By youths.
Yes, by youths. Anyway, this big guy pulls up in a big truck. This is out in the States, so one of those big kind of Hummer trucks. And he's at the opposite end and he parks next to this Porsche.
Nice.
And so the guy's like, people always do this, and they always open the door and ding his.
Yeah.
Right, because I guess they're jealous of the little car. And also, I realised, when you're walking from and to the car, anybody looking at you could guess you're walking towards the Porsche. So for a few seconds, you look cool.
Yeah.
But the guy waits for this to happen, like he's filming from another car, gets out a small, reserved for small penis parking sign. When the guy returns, he's like, the fuck? And the guy with the Porsche, doesn't admit the Porsche is his, obviously, comes up to him with a clipboard in like a smart fleece.
Right.
And he's like, excuse me, sir, is this your, do you have a permit? He's like, I'll believe you, but I'll need to see your permit for it. I mean, I have a tape measure. We could, and the guy's like, I will kick the shit out of you.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And in the end, he's like, I'll tell you what, we'll make this all better. And like at this point now, the guy has obviously fallen for a prank.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, there's nothing to do but either get pissed off, smile, or get in your car and drive off. Right. What he instead does is try like walking after the guy. So the guy is the best defense mechanism to a large trucker about to beat you up I've ever seen. Gets a cowbell out of his car, starts screaming, small penis, small penis, small penis. He has a small penis while smacking the cowbell. And then because the guy's chasing him, I'm being chased by a man with a small penis. And the guy just still doesn't leave. He's still chasing him while he's hitting a cowbell and alerting the entire street to this man with a small penis. Brilliant. Loved it.
Oh, that's
best prank I've seen on YouTube, really.
That's a great story. And what I really like about it is the guy with the big Hummer truck has a problem with his ego regarding penises. I'm fucking amazed.
yeah. It's one part next to the Porsche and the tiny penis.
Yeah, exactly.
Never mind.
So, speaking of, best way of avoiding a fight, how are you, Omer?
I'm fine. I certainly...
I sense a segue.
I certainly... well, they just make a small electrical hum.
Yeah.
That's how I got myself into fight. On Wednesday...
Well, you would ride them.
I finished work a little bit early.
You on somebody else's podcast? Betrayer.
On Wednesday, I finished work a little bit early, so I go to pick up my girlfriend. And she works in a shopping centre. And there's like a Tesco at the end with a bench outside of it, like a big round bench. So I go into the Tesco, I pick up a
round bench?
A round bench.
You mean like a concave one?
No, I mean a round, like a donut-shaped bench that you sit on.
with something in the middle.
Well, nothing in the middle.
But they can have, right?
Yeah, I guess they could
like
put
statues
in there if they wanted.
Yeah. Okay, I know the ones you mean, sorry.
Little steel one. So I go to Tesco, I get myself a can of Lucozade, and I'm sitting reading Facebook on my phone, just waiting for her to finish work. I've got about an hour, and it's a nice enough little place, so I sit there. And I see this group of teenagers behind me. Youths, young youths.
You only use the word youths when they're troublemakers.
14 to 16 years old, and they're they're mucking about and they're kicking the signs and they're not doing anything. Anyway, they sit down on the bench,
Whoa.
and they're banging around on the bench and it's moving. I'm like, oh, I can't be arsed. Fuck it.
See, I couldn't watch Sofa Sex. You said me you could watch 14, 16-year-old kids banging around.
And then the bench shifts. I'm the only guy on the bench,
okay.
right? I'm sitting there, I'm in my work clothes, I'm all in black, got a beanie on. So I look scruffy, I'm covered in oil from work and stuff like that. And the bench shifts, and I'm like, oh, okay, fine. The bench shifts again. I'm like, right, I'm going to say something. I said, I just went, do you want to stop that, boys? You know what? I was like, fine, I'll just... At this point now, they want a confrontation.
Yeah.
So stupidly, I say, because I'll beat the shit out of however many of you there are, to which I get, go on in, I stand up, turn around, and there's fucking 13 of them. Now, right, like I said, like we've mentioned before that I'm pro wrestler, I do know self-defense, I know martial arts. 3-4 people, especially teenagers, I'm not going to start fighting kids, but if they tried something, I would be able to defend myself. Probably still going to get a kicking, but I'll be able to defend myself. 13, I don't care who you fucking are, you are never going to stand up to them. I'm looking at them thinking, what the fuck did you just do? But now, of course, I can't walk away.
Yeah. Because you faced up to them.
Because I faced up to them. Now all I'm going to get is catcalls because I've actually got to be there for at least another 35 minutes.
Right.
So where am I going to go? All the shops are shut.
Yeah.
Other than Tesco, and I can't spend that long in Tesco. I'm not going to go and sit in my car because then they know which car is mine.
Sure.
And they're local. I'm kind of local. I'm going to be there a lot picking my girlfriend up, so I don't want to give them any anyway. So I just start mouthing off. I'm basically now thinking, well, I can try to diffuse this. So I'll start telling some jokes. Mocking a couple. Not just like, hey, did you hear about the nun who walked into the Tesco and got confronted by 13 kids?
Hey boys, you hear this limerick?
And what's the deal with airplanes?
And in the end, there's a couple of them.
Turned it into a violence-based fucking gong show.
There's one who's a little bit bigger than the rest, and I'm like, okay, he's the one who's going to try to push it.
He's the alpha male.
Yes, totally. But actually, that's what I thought. But there was, a good portion of them, I'd say like at least 9 of them were just like a crowd. They were just faceless.
Literally?
Yeah.
That must be... How are you not terrified? Because I can't watch...
I would punch you right in the face, but you don't have one.
I'll punch you right in the smooth object on top of your neck.
But there's a couple of them.
Sofa.
There's a couple of them, and
I can't even watch sofa sex.
What I'm doing now is like...
No face.
What I'm doing is like, they're insulting me. They're each doing things, but I'm quite sharp, and I spot different things. There's one who's slightly chunkier. He says something to me, to which I just reply with like, "Listen up, chunk." Or like, there's a guy who's got like a buck teeth, pointy out ears, so I call him rat face. And what I'm doing is I'm getting them to laugh at each other.
Okay.
So it's like dissension in the ranks. There's one of them had this little bit of like chin fluff.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm just like, look, you don't fit in. Your beard is more ridiculous than mine, which gets them laughing because now I'm insulting myself.
I was really hoping that you were just going to be like, the whole diss for him was, you don't fit in. You're just like,
but, you don't fit in. You got no face.
In the end, like, they're really getting aggressive, and now I'm thinking, now they're going to attack. Now it's wolf mentality. It's wolf pack mentality. They are starting to semicircle around me. I can't. At this point now, all I can do is try to get away. I can't run. Because I've never been, even when I was a lot smaller, I'm not a runner.
Okay.
They are all small guys, not small, but they're all young kids, say 14 to 16. They're going to outrun me.
Yep.
I'm going to get more damage. I'm thinking at this point, I am going to hospital.
Right.
Like, because whatever happened, even if one of them stood up and fought me, whatever one of us goes down, I'm just going to get a kicking now.
I thought you meant you were going to go to hospital with your out. I'm just like, sorry guys, I've got somewhere to be. Got a sick relative, going to go visit.
My only other bluff was to put my hand inside my jacket like I had a knife. But I didn't think of that at the time.
I'd have put my hand inside my trousers so I'd masturbate furiously.
Just pulled down my trousers. Come at me, you cunts!
I will choke you to death with this thing.
Because it's so small, I'll get it in your nostril.
We both know that's not true.
No, the only thing, right, and they're approaching. I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be able to hit 1 or 2, right? But then I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Okay.
I can't run. It's going to be worse. There's nothing to do here but try like damage limitation. And I was in a fucking movie, came up with something to say. Now I'd been being funny, throwing jokes, but I just said just a step before I said, let's just hold on for a second. And again, like this sounds like the thing that you plan to say,
yeah.
But this is God's honest truth what I said, and I think it saved my ass. I said, there's 13 of you, there's 1 of me. Now, let me tell you from experience, only 2 types of people will stand up to 13 people at once. One of them is such a good fighter, he thinks he has a chance. The other one is a fucking nutter. Which one do you think I am?
Best case scenario, I'm not mental.
That still pissed them off. But what it did was nobody wanted to be the first one.
Oh,
because
okay.
and I know, like, and again, I'm not bragging about this. I'm not trying to be the big man saying I'm some marvellous martial artist. I was about to get my ass kicked, no doubt about it. But the first one or two would have taken some good shots from me, because I am trained. Not trained to take on 13 people. But they did not, they then knew, he is confident about this.
He's going to hurt one of them.
So I don't want to be the one who steps up. And they were standing there for about 60 seconds, and now I'm okay. Here we go. And luckily for me, security turned up. I didn't know there was security in that shopping centre.
Yeah, because that would have been my first reaction was security.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily enough, he turned up, and to his credit, he was a small, I think a Pakistani lad by his accent.
Okay.
Probably about a year younger than me. And his attitude and his way of dealing with it was just spot on. So was his can of mace on his belt.
Oh, that helps.
Yeah, he came up and he was like, "Boys, you're going to have to leave." They were like, "Why? What? We're going to listen to you, blah, blah, blah." And he said, "Look, no, you're on private property. I've seen the cameras are causing a problem. You're going to have to leave, or I'll call the police." They then actually approach him.
Okay.
Now, the thing is, now they're thinking there's two of them. All right, we want to beat up the beardy one, but now I don't think the security's going to start beating them up, but there's an obstacle they're going to have to get past.
Yeah.
He just puts his hand to his belt, and they spot the can of mace.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then they're gone. And I was just so thankful to him because, like I said, I knew I was going to hospital that night.
Yeah.
And I was tallying it up. I'm thinking broken orbital bone.
I thought when you said
I'm still going to hospital anyway, but with less injury.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just going to drive around the car park and leave, and know that I could. It's not. It's just refreshing to know I can leave whenever.
Yeah, it was very, very lucky to the point where I was. The moral of this story, and I know like anybody listening to this is going to think, "Oh, he's bragging, he's a dickhead." I am not bragging. I'm not trying to say I'm big and tough. I'm not even trying to say I handled this well, because the one thing I've always been taught from learning any martial art is pick your fights. Right? Not necessarily don't pick a fight you can't win, but certainly size up. Certainly, if you're listening to this, if a group of teenagers are threatening you, check out how many of them there are before you threaten to beat the shit out of them. Because I picked on 13 kids, it wasn't going to end well. 2, 3, hell, maybe even 5. I might have got out there after having hurt a couple of them, getting lucky. 13, nobody's getting out of that shit.
They just nad-stomped you today.
Yeah, that was like I was telling her, I was like, I know a friend who got the shit kicked out of him by 2 people and he lost an eye.
Yeah.
Right? I was looking at cracked skull.
They'd have taken 26 eyes.
Exactly. And that's more than I have.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Apart from that bag of eyes I keep with me.
Oh, no way, it'd been 6.5.
Yeah.
I did the maths the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they'd taken 6.5 of your eyes.
You're walking around the rest of your life being called Odin.
Oh, fuck, where are they? I want to go get my eye kicked out.
We'd have ended up with an eye debt.
An eye debt?
Yeah.
Just owed them my eyes. Every time I grow a new one, I have to
You would have been collecting on eyes, so they would have been like, come to Ocean Eyes Finance. We lend you one eye at 4,000% interest. You owe us 4,000 eyes by the end of the week. How about it?
Aye.
Aye.
Moral of the story, don't start on lots and lots of kids at once, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Tree's a tree, it's about politics and good advice.
Yeah.
And Omer getting the shit beaten out. Join us next week when I'll probably have to go pick her up again this Wednesday, and they'll still be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beardy one, kick him!
He's that bloke off the podcast.
Who's slagging us off on the internet?
Although, like, they were all pretty simple, as the people that tend to hang around in gangs are. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm not the most intellectual of guys, but I certainly have a vocabulary of words that a lot of people don't use. And I was using quite complicated words in an attempt to kind of confuse them, and it didn't work. The word that stopped one of them and made him go, huh, was when I said the word tact. Right, and then I've got him, and I'm like, I'm going to insult him. I'm going to give him the definition of the word and make him feel stupid. Mm-hmm. Right? No, my brain decided to shut down because it wouldn't give me the definition of the word tact. Right. I went tact. It means
your face.
And my brain went, no, nothing for you in here. Nope. So I went tact. It means never mind. You wouldn't understand. To which my brain went, good save.
Yeah. If there's one thing I've known about 13 teenage boys like trying to cause trouble, they really love it when you make them feel stupid. That's the best
yeah, don't
way.
get me wrong, I was just making this worse for myself all the time. But that's me, I guess.
I feel like there was a very little way to make it any better.
Yeah.
Save for not being in that situation.
But exactly, what was I going to do? When they started moving the bench, what was I going to do? Just leave? Just walk off? No. I'm not. Again, I'm not trying to tell anybody to be tough. I'm not saying I'm tough. I'm not saying I could beat up anybody I want. I can't.
Okay.
But I am not going to sit and have a load of kids take the piss.
No,
start shoving the bench and throwing sweets at me. That's
fair
not going to happen. And again, this sounds like me trying to be the big man and say, oh, I'd rather go to a hospital than have a load of kids. No, it's more that I'm going to have to be in that area than have a load of kids, beat me up. I'm going to have to be in that area repetitively, and this problem will come up again.
Sure.
If I'd have just walked off, it would have been next time the same thing, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Now, if they're not in a big group of 2 or 30, if there's 3 or 4 of them, they're going to have some snidey comments and they're going to walk off because they know that there's a guy who stood up. I might be absolutely insane. And again, not being proud of it, but a couple of them would have got hurt.
Yeah.
Very badly hurt before I
died.
I fucking would have died on my arse. But that's so that's my adventure of the week. And today I bought some bathroom tiles.
That's awesome.
I also became the guardian of the plug in the same shopping centre.
What?
Guardian of the plug. There was a stall in front of me, right, selling like new age, like crystals and little dangly cross necklaces and things like that.
Kind of thing.
And there was a woman, late 50s, kind of.
I thought you were mulling it over like, no, definitely a woman. Yeah.
That was a woman.
Fairly sure.
She may have been an orc.
She had a vagina.
Somewhere.
Order.
Maybe not in the right place, but it was somewhere.
And after all this thing came by, and a couple of teenagers, like some young girls who sat on the bench, and they were like, "Are you alright?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." They were just. Then of course my adrenaline drops, and I'm now shivering. It was fucking cold in there anyway, but you don't feel it.
Sure.
Now it's got really, really cold, and I've had an adrenaline drop, and I'm shaking like a leaf.
Yeah.
And it genuinely wasn't. I will say, at no point was I scared or afraid, because that doesn't help.
No.
Right. But I just had pure adrenaline rush. I didn't feel anything. But so I've sat back down. Finish off my drink, and I'm trying to just be normal now, you know. Yeah. And the security guard's like, "You're okay, yeah, fine." And the woman has left her stall, right, and she's put it in one of the closed down shops, like all of her wares. Yeah. But there's a power point hanging down from the ceiling, and it's got like an unplug point, and then it's just 2 normal household plugs.
Right. So for next time, now you know there's
just swing it into them.
There's a place you can plug a chainsaw.
Yeah. So
1 minute. Now bring it on, you fuckers.
It's hanging down at about like knee height, and is obviously a hazard.
Okay.
Right. And security, like the girls are joking that they're going to put their foot in it, trip over, and sue the centre. You know, they're quite good humoured for the girls of their age. You'd normally be, you see them when they're out hanging about in shopping centres. They're normally annoying, but these girls were actually they looked like they were waiting for somebody. And they were indoors, so it was raining, so they were looking for somewhere to be for a little while.
Like the kind of women who generally, the kind of women of that age who generally hang around in shopping centres are kind of that whiny sort of bratty.
I went to, and he said, and then I put my bum on his head, and then I've never spoken female before.
Yeah, I don't think he respects me. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That, again,
I let him.
But they were actually
put his dick on me with 3 of his mates, but
they were good humoured. You know. They were good humoured though. They were joking about putting their foot in it and tipping over and suing the shop. And security said to me, "You're going to be here a while." I was like, "Yeah, I've got about another 15, 20 minutes where I'm going anywhere." And it was like, "Would you watch that for me?" Like, "Yeah, of course." And one of the girls, to her credit, gets her charger out of her phone, sits next to it, and just starts charging her phone, which is brilliant. It was absolutely hilarious. While the security guy goes and gets a chair, 'cause he's going to unplug it and keep it somewhere safe. And then through the far doors, and it's a good 10 yards away.
Okay.
Come a couple 40s, and there's a man walking and a woman in a mobility scooter.
Right.
And it is a straight line all the way from the open doors to the Tesco, which is the only shop still open. It's 7, everything else shuts at 5:30.
Yeah.
Right.
They've already missed the show.
Yeah, exactly. They're headed in a dead straight line. Now, the bench that I'm sitting on is about 3 foot from this plug. Right. They are headed in a fucking straight line for the plug. The woman in the wheelchair, dead straight line.
Maybe she needed to charge it.
Dead from 10 yards away, dead straight line towards this plug. Now, I understand she might not have seen the plug, but there's a bench, a bright blue bench, right? So she heads towards it, and I'm like, I like the guy has, I'm the keeper of the plug. So I'm like, "Excuse me, love, excuse me, you might want to." And she's talking to a fella, cannot hear me. I have to get up, walk to the plug, and pull it out of her way.
Wow.
So she drives through it. She just acknowledges, oh, sorry, cheers, and then has to veer around the bench. So she wasn't. What was she doing? She actually almost bumped into the bench and had to swerve a mobility scooter. How fucking retarded are you? But she knew the bench was there.
Now, look, love, don't knock the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Don't knock the fucking bench, or I'll beat you and your 13 children up.
This bright blue bench is not only practical, but it's alliterative. So you fucking stay away.
I hate when people hit things that have 3 B's in them.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject, do you know what tact means?
Because I'm fucking spaced. My favourite story about, getting answers back from teenagers and replying back was my last girlfriend. She was in...
What did you do to her?
What?
Your last girlfriend ever?
No, I just think, quite possibly.
Probably, yeah.
At this rate, yeah. She was at the bus stop, and she's like you. She doesn't like, dickhead teenagers.
Yes.
Mouthing off, doing damage to things.
Yeah, it's just you stand up for something you think is wrong.
Yeah. She's given, like, some kids, like, kicking a bus bench or something, or just, like, nudging at the glass, which is already broken from where somebody else has punted it or whatever. And she's given him a sort of a look, and he turns and spots her and goes, "What the fuck are you looking at?" She just goes, "A jumped up little shit."
Nice, I like it.
No, it's when she had her moments, and when she had...
That's why you're not going out anymore, because they killed her, though, right?
Yeah. She mouthed off a couple of teenagers, and they just ripped her to shreds.
It was like a pack of wolves.
Yeah, that's why it's my last. She might be my last girlfriend ever, just because I can't top that. That's hard. It's hard going.
I was dating this really nice girl. She's a supermodel. She's
now
very
she's
intelligent, but but everybody I go out with just dies.
One way or another.
Buy my cock. I split her like a piece of lumber.
I've never said to any woman, "Buy my cock." I should pay them, really. It's
well, to be fair, they're too far away to hear you. So.
Whip it over like a lasso.
Touch the end!
Just the tip!
I saw a tip jar the other day that had put the tip in, see how it feels. I was like, brilliant.
That's
I love
amazing.
that.
Yeah.
And that is the type of thing that makes me put money in a jar. Mm-hmm. That would make me put £1 in that pot.
Well, it's like me, right? When I used to live in Brighton, when I used to pass tons of buskers on my way to work. Like, not just buskers, but homeless people, beggars of any kind.
Yeah.
And I always used to favour the buskers because they're doing something.
Get a gimmick.
Get a gimmick. Even if you're telling dad jokes with no microphone and telling the worst fucking puns in history, like if you've nicked my stash of really terrible fucking puns, then that's something. But I remember once I was walking back from work, and this guy actually said to me, "Hey mate, give us all your money." I was like, "I haven't got any." Cunt.
Best mugging ever.
Well, no, seriously, I don't understand,
Was he wearing one of those little masks like Zorro? Was it a train robbery?
No, just...
Did he have a big long tash and a big top hat?
No,
give us all your money, see?
It's always thrown me to this day, what was he expecting me to say to give me all your money? And I
here's my credit card.
I said, no, I haven't got anything. And I'd just come from I was doing a sales job which wasn't going well. So I literally was, I was really down on on myself. Not in that way. Hasn't got that far yet.
Although it could.
Yeah, I suppose it could. And I was really down on myself. I was having a really hard time finding a steady job. Everybody goes through it at some point. And... so he had more cash in his pocket than I did, I guarantee.
Probably, yeah.
Even if he had 26p, that was more than I had in my pocket because I had to pay for everything by cards.
What if you had 24?
Might have been. We'd have had to work it out by, probably gone by denominations of coin, maybe.
Oh, okay, right. So who's got the most tens?
Yeah, exactly. I've got a 20 and a 5 and a 1. Obviously, I've got 2 tens, a 5 and a 1.
Oh, okay. So.
Maybe if you had 3 2s, it'd have been a decisive winner. But
crazy, we're talking about change.
But yeah, that was probably the worst one I've ever had.
That's pretty bad.
But this is so the guy on my road is one thing, and then a couple of days later, I met the junk wizard. Right. So
I can have a T-shirt that says "I've met the junk wizard,"
and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
But it's not a T-shirt; it's an umbrella. A T-shirt that says "I met the junk wizard," and all I got was this lousy umbrella.
On the back it says "Doesn't even keep the rain out." So
it was really crazy.
the job I do, so I work in London, and sometimes, generally my hours are sort of general office hours, Monday to Friday, but occasionally I will have to go in for 6:30. So what happens then is I get the train at sort of 4:30, 5 o'clock, get to London about 6:15 and take the tube. Thrilling, I know.
Yeah.
But I get
Crazy. Talking about trains.
talking about commute and tedium.
Order!
I even had a puzzle
We
magazine.
should go back to politics, that was more interesting.
Seriously. I even had a puzzle magazine. That's how fucking dumb.
You are so white. I have a puzzle magazine on the train on my commute into my office, where I deal crack.
Are you suggesting that black people can't have offices?
No.
Race it! Race it, train!
Well, I'm certainly not saying that they steal all the supplies.
Oh, God.
I said I'm not saying that.
That's good. You're trying very hard not to say that.
Yeah.
Very good.
Very trying.
Yes.
I don't hate black people, please don't stab me. It's little 14-year-old white kids I don't like.
Yeah.
None of them are black or anything other than white Caucasian.
No, they're generally, I find, the gobbiest ones.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I've got another story on the subject of gobby whites in a minute. So,
Fucking Ku Klux.
not wrong. Spoilers. So I got to the train station at about 4:45, a little bit early for my train, and there's this bloke at the door of the, like when Rochester Station overnight is shut, they bring the shutter down for the bit that's like the shop and the ticket office and stuff, and you go around the side entrance and in through there.
Yeah.
So he's standing outside the side entrance, and this guy looks like, I'm trying to, the best way to explain it would be if Gandalf had discovered crystal meth, given up wizardry, and just got some really badass sunglasses. And to be fair to him, these sunglasses were fucking amazing, right? Just cylindrical, round.
So he was wearing a tube.
He was wearing 3D sunglasses.
A trash wisher is never late, he just had a fan.
So he was just wearing round sky blue lenses, and they were awesome, right?
Good.
What wasn't awesome was the entire exchange between me and him. So as I'm walking up to the station to pass him to go through the door into the station, he holds up his hand just as if to say, hang on a sec.
Yeah.
So I think, I've got my headphones in, so I'm just like, he obviously just wants to ask me if I've got something, like a cigarette or some change or something. And he says, can you help me get my trolley onto the platform? What? In my mind, I'm just like...
You don't have your trolley because he's lost his trolley.
In my mind, I'm just like, what? Is this some sort of metaphor? Is this guy going to wear parts of me tomorrow? It's 4:45 in the morning. As far as I know, there's nobody around. There's no witnesses to anything. He might just be about to shank me. And as a white guy, that's a tremendous concern. And I said, what? And he says, I just can't get it on the platform. The lift isn't working this time of day. I was like, okay, sure. So I walk around the corner, and what he's got is this kind of, those carts that kids get as a kid, that they put their favourites in?
I suppose when kids get them as adults.
But this guy had one.
Oh, okay, right.
He obviously bought it recently from the story that's coming. It's one of those like black, like the ones with the black plastic handle for normal sized tread wheels, not like plastic wheels. The kind of thing I mean, like
pound shops sometimes have them as like drag baskets almost.
Yeah, but with like proper tyre wheels.
Yes, yeah.
So he's got one of them, and it is full to the brim with tat, like
nice
grade A tat.
Good.
And I use that term loosely because realistically,
there is no
tat shouldn't be grade A.
No, there's no grades.
No. And so I'm just like, well, what do you need me to do?
Like me in college, no grades. Hello. I dropped out because my teacher had work-related stress problems.
Right.
Otherwise known as crushing alcoholism.
That is work-related stress.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It depends on what.
And a car set on fire when we were on the motorway, whether it was hilarious.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but none of us started fucking drinking.
No, well, sure, but I've seen a flaming car before. I'm over it.
Fuck this.
Boring.
I burnt down people's drinking halls.
Boring. So this guy.
You've seen your uncle on fire on a long ship. You'll know fire.
When I saw this guy's trolley, I was reminded instantly of when I was at uni, and we moved into our second year house, which was in town, like not a student owned, not a university owned one, like a privately let one. The landlord never learned my name.
Nice.
He knew I lived there.
Who are you?
Yeah, and every time he wouldn't say it to me, but he would pull one of the others to the side, name he did know, be like, "What's his name again?"
Hello, buddy.
Hello, you.
Little inside wrestling thing. That's why there are so many buddies, fellas, and that in wrestling.
Because you can't remember that.
Because it's polite. It's very, very rude not to remember somebody's name, but it does happen occasionally. So it's kind of an unspoken rule that buddy or "How you doing, fella" is okay.
Yeah.
Basically, as long as you recognise that you have met them before.
Yes. So
don't introduce yourself by name again.
Well, I imagine that you meet so many people that it's hard to keep track.
Yeah, no, but it's more that you even will have seen them online and stuff like that, and you'll know their ring name.
Okay.
But you don't know if that's real. So it's impolite to try to. So if you can't remember how you were introduced the first time, you will often just be, "Oh, hi, fella, nice to see you again." Rather than because the first time you meet somebody, you go, "Hi, I'm Omer. How do you do?"
Yeah,
it's nice to meet you.
That'd be really crap if you're the ring announcer.
Coming down the ring.
Yeah, weighing the ring, weighing in at 340 pounds from parts unknown. That guy.
I've done that actually recently.
Buddy,
Recently, a couple of companies have got me in to do a bit of ring announcing as like a guest ring announcer. I'm not trying to waylay your story, mate. It's crazy.
I'm not trying to waylay your story.
I've been up to like guys because I've been out of the scene for a while.
Okay.
There are guys who are doing really, really well,
Right.
and everybody knows who they are. And I go up to them and I'm like, I'm ring announcing. I'm like, "Hi, man, what's your names?" And they just look at me, and they're not being rude because, but they're like, "We've been all over the country for the past 3 years."
Yeah,
but they don't, and then they just go, "Oh, hi, I'm Jim. This is whatever." But it's that initial thing of like,
That's the worst wrestling that I've ever heard. Jim,
they're not used to people coming up to them and asking their names because most people just come up and go, "What's your weight and hometown?" But yeah, it's just been quite fun meeting all these guys who don't know that I was actually established for a while.
Okay.
And I'm just the ring announcer guy, and then all the old hands will be like, "Hi, Omer, how you doing, man? How's it going?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh shit, he's somebody."
Yeah.
Which is quite fun. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
That's cool. So the guy had...
You're a train wizard.
So the train wizard had stuff in there. And when I was, like I say, when I moved into my uni house, I remember the first night we were all there, we opened the cupboard underneath the stairs. Not expecting to find Harry Potter, this was pre...
Fuck off, I'm having a wank.
I can't even be a real teenager here. I hate my dad. When we opened it, there was like road signs and a jar with about £8 in pennies in it. And we didn't know who lived there before, so for all we knew, they'd been there for several years.
Yeah.
And these were proper road signs. These were like blue ones that, motorway.
Not the ones you nicked. Oh, right, okay.
No, we didn't take them. No, we just found them in the cupboard.
No, not the ones that you nicked from just like closed signs, like road ahead closed signs. Anyway,
No, it was literally
somebody
like,
worked on the roads.
This was like, what Wincheap this way. Like, M2,
secret bunker ahead.
M2 junction 6 services 1 mile or something. But this guy had...
those specific road signs must go somewhere. Road ahead closed.
Yeah, but they don't. What they don't do is they don't go into a generic second year uni house.
That's very true. Yeah,
taking away road ahead closed is not normally the best time to take away.
No, I regret nothing.
My first car crash was into a road ahead closed. So I really wanted to go into that road. Anyway,
my first car crash, not to go ahead. Was
not to just direct your own story.
Yeah, I'm hijacking my own story now. Crazy train. My first car.
Give us all your money.
Cunt. And that was that was the other thing about it. Going back to that story briefly. Was he expecting the word? Was he expecting the word "cunt" to make me turn around and go, "I'm completely changed my mind. Here's all my money."
I'll get that in the shop. What's your cheapest so-and-so, mate? Oh, it's £24.
Yeah.
Got any cheaper? Yes, I was fucking holding out on you.
I'm
well done, this is the secret one.
I'm a businessman who can't haggle.
Yeah. Junk Wizard.
So uni house had already done that bit.
Yeah, okay.
Junk Wizard. So he had a trolley that was full of stuff like this. So it was, signs, bits of tat and, bricks and all that shit.
His mother,
bits of his mum, like parts of his last girlfriend ever. Callbacks, crazy train. And so I helped him to move it up onto the platform. And there's a guy from Southeastern standing on the stairs. And he's obvious. I'm guessing that the guys asked this guy to help, and he said no.
Yeah.
I mean, I can sort of understand it to a point, because if I'd been a bit more with it, I might have said no.
Yeah. You don't get yourself into it.
But then also, I'm in the same boat as you found yourself, which is I don't want him to then find a way to up onto the platform and then cuss me out.
Yeah.
Which, spoilers, he ended up doing anyway.
Oh, okay.
So I helped him up with the trolley, and as we're walking up, the southeastern guy starts coming down the stairs, and he looks at me really strangely, like as if to say, "Why are you helping?" And so I didn't know what to say to him, so I just said, "Hello."
Yeah.
And
mate.
yeah. So, hello. And we just went up the stairs. And the guy, the trash wizard...
This isn't mine.
Yeah. The level 50 trash wizard. Low speedcraft, high constitution.
High tackcraft.
Tackcraft.
High meth craft.
Low barter. He starts like cussing out the guy from South. He's like, yeah, you could have done with the exercise, the fat prick and stuff like that. And
nice.
I was like, whoa, he's just talking because at this point he's just talking audibly enough that he might have been able to still hear him on his way down the
which is
stairs.
on purpose.
Maybe, yeah, this is it.
Or he's just mental, he doesn't realise he's talking.
He was talking loud enough that he could have been doing that, but he could have just as easily been not deliberately trying to do it.
Fat bastard could have helped me out, and tomorrow I'll have some Pop-Tarts. And my thoughts are coming out of my mouth again.
Don't trust them Jews.
Racist!
Race a trade. Well, that was the guy, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
And so he gets up onto the platform, he starts talking to me, and at this point I could not care less about his fucking problems in his life. I really couldn't. Like, I do my best. I'm a very patient human being when it comes to talking to strangers.
Yeah.
As long as
you'd hope that somebody would do that to you.
Yeah, exactly. And also, if like you say, if I ever found myself so compelled to start a conversation with somebody random on the train or something like that, I'd hope that they wouldn't feel so awkward.
They'll at least give you fine, good. I'll see you soon, mate.
Yeah, or even just to react, because like sometimes I'll say something on the train that's designed as a joke, and if nobody reacts, I'll just be like
a shared experience, somebody getting stuck in a door and leaving. And you see that
exactly that sort of thing. Like the time a pair of girls were walking through the carriage I was sat in. This was on one of my other early release days, and I was on the sort of mid-afternoon train, and somebody said, "Oh, you really know your way around?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm like Dora the Explorer." And then she couldn't open the door. I just, I almost felt like going, "Well done, Dora! Muy bien!"
How'd you get that tour shot over your fucking head?
Yeah, seriously. Sorry. How do you breathe in and out, you stupid bitch? Not Dora.
Shutting the door, swiper.
Not Dora, she's precocious as anything. If anything, she's just slightly arrogant. And he starts talking to me about, I remember when I used to come up onto this station, they had, I can't remember what the word was, he used like diagrams or something like that.
Okay.
Some sort of plaster or concrete thing. And he was like, and I was like, all right. And he started getting really shirty with me because I was using, because in conversation you do this, you say things like yeah and right and okay.
Just to continue to let you know that you're listening.
To let them know you're listening and that you don't want them to stop the story.
Yeah.
But he was getting really annoyed.
I just did one there.
Yeah,
exactly.
Precisely.
I had no reason to say yeah. Yeah, I wasn't particularly agreeing, but I said it.
Precisely. But it's a normal human social thing. It's not an unusual thing for somebody to be telling a story and somebody else to be going, sure, right.
You don't just clam up and
you don't just
my ears.
But this is what I ended up literally doing with this guy because he was so shirty with me. Every time I used a word like right or yeah, he'd get really annoyed and he'd be like, you don't understand. So why are you saying yeah?
Oh, I fucking get that when they're like, look, we can't be late today. Okay. No, it's not okay. I wasn't fucking saying it'd be okay. Yeah. I was just saying I agree with your statement.
Auntie Rita's in the hospital. Her kidneys have shut down. Oh, okay. Well, it's not okay. Well, no, I didn't.
No, it's not okay.
In what world was I going to be like fucking resolved?
Yes. Yeah, kidney failure.
Renal failure. Brilliant.
Kidney failure and them Jews, things I love.
Achievement unlocked.
So, but he got so shitty with me, but he wouldn't, stop the conversation because he's talking at somebody. And it's not a conversation where he's talking to someone.
He's not asking opinions.
He's not asking opinions.
He's just telling you about
He's not after anything. He's just after somebody
Here are things I know.
Yeah, he's after somebody to vent at. In fact, I've probably still got his fucking business card in my wallet. Because he's like, if you know anybody, I'm after a chippy. I was like, I'm not going to pass this on to anyone, dickhead. No. I could not care less about your fucking life.
Wizard hut.
Yeah, exactly. I need a new metal. But in the end, he was like, is this the train to Strood, by the way? And that's the point, like, it's the most normal thing he said to me in the last 20 minutes. I'm just like, oh yeah, it is. You just need to jump straight on and next stop. And he's like, oh, cool, thanks. And then he shook hands, and as we were walking away, he shouted back to me. I said, you have a great day, yeah? Because I'm still, even if
yeah.
he's still being a dick to me, I'm still going to be nice.
Yeah,
If anything,
win the battle that way.
sometimes I'm going to be nice to a fault, like really obnoxiously nice.
Yeah.
Like, you have a super, super day. I hope you die in a fucking fire. And he shouts after me. He shouts after me, and don't talk to strangers. Somebody should have taught you that. It's like, what the
He's a fucking test. He goes out and talks to people as a fucking test.
He is an endurance trial. He is. And the strange thing is, I saw him again later that
It's like
day.
your dad turn up and give him a fiver and go, well done, he's learnt his lesson.
Well done, he's learned his lesson. Well done, he will not get butt-fucked by a trash wizard. So if there's any risk, Dad, you've got some standards.
He'd turn around and say, oh, well, by the way, give us all your money.
But again, this story has a slightly happy ending because I saw him that afternoon. There's a bit I need to tell you before this.
Go.
So the thing he was proudest of in the conversation we had before he got on the train, same train as me, he just got off earlier, so I didn't have to deal with him the whole fucking way.
No.
Which was a thing, because I would have killed somebody on the other end.
Probably not him because he would have killed you first.
Yeah, probably. So, Expelliarmus! Trolliotattus!
Just lobbed the newspaper from 1934 at you. Expelliarmus! This is the sinking of the Titanic.
Bric-a-brac!
Half a Lego brick.
How do you get half a Lego brick?
I don't know. I don't collect tap, Blake.
They're bastards to broke.
Beano and Dandy annuals! From 1978 to 1984. Odd ones, not in sequence.
A glove with a missing thumb.
One thumbless glove.
Echo the Dolphin on CD.
A burned copy of the Echo soundtrack on CD.
Hope you like waves.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt. So, I broke Blake. So he was really proud of the fact that he's talking about the trolley, and he said, "How much?"
What else was he going to talk about?
Yeah, he said, "How much would you pay for that?" And I started looking it over, and I don't know how much plastic trolleys with tyre wheels go for. I'm not as up on them. I don't buy plastic trolley with wheels on Trader. I don't keep up with eBay. There's no websites as far as I know. There's no adverts. We buy only trolleywithwheels.com. And so I just started humouring him. So I was like, well, I don't know, I'll make up an arbitrary number in my head. Not make up a number, I'll come up with one. Because
To make up a number.
4, 12, 2 and 6. And not a penny more. Be gone with you, trash wizard.
Expelliarmus. Let's make coke come out of your nose there.
It was actually my dick.
Oh, okay.
I can see how you can get them confused.
They both smell.
And nobody's sitting on them. So I started looking at, and he was. This was another thing. He was just getting really irritating for this reason as well. Because when I was looking it over, he said, "Don't think about it. Let a number come to you." It's like that's not how guessing works.
You're not a fucking medium.
No, exactly. If I'd known he was going to be there, I'd have get the next fucking train. But
12.5p.
yeah, I thought, well, it's either going to be if I say a high,
Very high or very low.
yeah, if I say a really low number, he'll be
He's
like,
going to be chuffed
"You're
you got it for a deal.
yeah." If I say a high number, he's going to be chuffed to go for a deal. If I'm going to say a low number, he's going to call me a fucking idiot because he's already done that in as many words 3 or 4 times in this whole conversation. So I said, "Oh, I don't know, 35 quid." And he goes, "Cost me 4." I was like, "Right." And this means what to
Achievement
me? Yeah,
unlocked.
you know what that means to me, trash wizard? Jack shit.
I think £4 to leave me alone.
I think I'm going to get on the tracks now. The train's not here. I know. Such is my interest in this dialogue.
Give me all your tap.
Cunt. So the story has a funny ending because I got off the train in the afternoon. I been into town and I was walking back from the
You
train
saw his body
station.
on the tracks.
No,
Okay.
I saw him again.
No, okay.
No trolley. And I couldn't help but wonder if maybe he'd got to Strood and while he was there said to the bloke, "You want to buy this trolley?" I've got a bloke back in Rostrud who offered me 35 quid for it this morning.
You can have it for a tenner.
Exactly. But the problem is he's now started to do a building job on my route to fucking work. So I either have a choice of taking a different route or running into the fucking trash wizard every morning and getting my feelings hurt. And quite frankly, I could do without it.
Oh, trash wizards.
Alright, so I don't know, I suppose you probably should wrap that up on that, that bombshell.
Yeah, massive news.
Don't get me
I
started.
don't even know what we just said.
No, seriously.
It's so big.
The magic of editing.
Yeah.
Alright, so... So for Omer Ibrahim...
Oh, fuck off.
Blake Harmer.
I'm eating a man.
And for me, Rob
We're
Wade.
adults.
We'll be back next time, hopefully with Brad.
Hopefully he'll come down by then.
That would be good.
If he comes back.
Yeah.
If he comes back.